Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. You're standing on the deck of a gleaming super yacht. The sun dazzling on turquoise waters, the scent of salt and exotic flowers in the air, a perfectly chilled drink in your hand.
Mm,
It's the epitome of luxury, of escape, isn't it?
absolutely. Pure fantasy.
But have you ever stopped to wonder what truly goes on beneath that polished surface?
Yeah.
What intense, often unseen drama unfolds for the crew members who work tirelessly, live in incredibly close quarters, and cater to every whim of their high-paying guests, all while their every move is captured by hidden cameras?
It's precisely that captivating dichotomy, right?
Yeah.
The high-gloss facade versus the relentless, sometimes chaotic reality of life below deck. That's what has mesmerized millions of viewers around the globe.
Yeah.
It's a world most of us can only dream of, yet one we're invited to observe with, like startling intimacy.
Exactly. And that's our mission today on The Deep Dive. We're plunging into the fascinating, complex world of Below Deck Bravo's global phenomenon. This show, which first set sail back on July 1st, 2013, it has meticulously chronicled the demanding lives of these dedicated crew members as they work and reside aboard some of the world's most opulent super yachts.
During that intense, often frenetic charter season.
Oh, you're right, the charter season. They're constantly navigating the intricate dance of exceptional service, personal relationships, and the ever-present pressure of high-end, incredibly demanding clients.
Our deep dive today is designed to take a rich stack of articles, in-depth research, and candid insights about the entire Below Deck franchise and just peel back every single layer.
Okay.
We're going to journey from its surprising origins, explore the intense, often invisible realities of its production process.
That's the juicy stuff.
Definitely. And dissect how it truly measures up against actual professional yachting life. Because, let's be honest, that's a burning question for many devoted viewers.
For sure.
And finally, track the compelling paths of cast members once they step off that yacht and leave the world of reality television behind.
Get ready, because we promise some genuinely surprising facts, a few aha moments that will fundamentally shift how you view reality television on the high seas, and even some insights into the sheer athleticism and discretion required to make a show like this.
Yeah, the behind-the-scenes stuff is wild.
You might just find yourself looking at your next binge-watching session with a whole new, much more informed perspective.
Hopefully.
So how did this captivating premise, combining the glitz of luxury with the grind of service, become such a global phenomenon? Let's unpack the surprising genesis of Below Deck and its remarkable expansion.
Well, the origins of Below Deck are actually quite grounded, stemming from a very specific real-world observation. The original concept was first pitched way back in 2010.
Okay, 2010.
Yeah, by a former yacht stewardess who, having lived and worked in that environment, recognized the inherent, almost theatrical drama of what she vividly termed the upstairs-downstairs world of yachts.
Upstairs, downstairs, I like that.
Yeah, right. She understood that the stark contrast between the pampered, often oblivious guests above deck and the hard-working, often sleep-deprived crew below deck was basically a goldmine of narrative possibilities.
That's a truly brilliant insight, recognizing that built-in tension and dynamic from firsthand experience. It wasn't just pulled out of thin air, it came from a deep understanding of that unique, confined ecosystem.
Exactly.
And from that initial brilliant pitch, it moved pretty quickly to a pilot, didn't it?
It did indeed. That initial spark of an idea rapidly gained traction. The pilot episode was filmed in Fort Lauderdale in October 2010, right during a boat show, actually.
Oh, fitting.
Yeah, which is a fitting backdrop for its origins. This pilot laid the essential groundwork, establishing the format and tone, leading to the show's official premiere on Bravo in July 2013.
Right.
It was from this single sailing that the entire blueprint for what would become an absolutely massive global franchise was established.
Massive is almost an understatement. From that single show, it has just exploded. We're talking about a franchise with 5 active series and over 25 total seasons now. That's an astonishing amount of content.
It really is.
What do you think was the secret sauce that allowed this single show to become such a vast global franchise? And how did it manage to replicate that success across so many spin-offs?
The secret sauce, I believe, lies in 2 core elements: the universal appeal of aspiration and escapism.
Yeah, the dream life.
Exactly. Combined with the raw, relatable drama of human dynamics under pressure, viewers are drawn to the fantasy of this super yacht lifestyle, but they stay for the genuine, unscripted, interpersonal conflicts and triumphs of the crew.
That makes sense.
And this formula proved incredibly adaptable. After the original success, they strategically expanded, first to the Mediterranean,
Okay, Med?
which offered new exotic backdrops and a slightly different cultural flavor. Below Deck Mediterranean launched in 2016 and has been a powerhouse, now boasting 9
Yeah, those
seasons.
seasons, wow.
Following that, Below Deck Sailing Yacht introduced the unique challenges and beauty of sailing vessels in 2020. That's got 4 seasons aired and a highly anticipated 5th that just premiered on October 7th, 2024, taking us to the stunning waters of Ibiza aboard the iconic Parsifal 3.
Parsif 3, yep, classic.
Then came Below Deck Down Under, which brought the franchise to Australia's Great Barrier Reef in 2022. 2 seasons so far, and a 3rd confirmed for late 2024, set to explore the breathtaking Seychelles.
Seychelles, nice.
And for those seeking a colder climate adventure, Below Deck Adventure debuted in 2022, showcasing the majestic fjords of Norway, although the status of its 2nd season is still TBD.
Ah, okay.
But each spin-off successfully maintains the core elements while adding its own distinct flavor,
So these yachts aren't just cruising around one small, familiar patch of ocean. We're talking about a truly global operation, a kind of floating United Nations of luxury travel.
Absolutely. It's a truly international affair, which is definitely part of its broad appeal. The various series have taken viewers on a virtual tour across some of the world's most iconic and stunning destinations.
Right.
We've seen ships crisscrossing the sun-drenched Caribbean, exploring the historic and glamorous Mediterranean, even venturing into the colder, more rugged beauty of the Baltic seas,
Wow, Baltic.
and of course the vibrant coasts of Australia. This global footprint not only provides incredible backdrops, but also allows for diverse charter guest experiences and different crew nationalities, adding to the rich tapestry of the show.
Yeah.
And for our listeners outside the U.S., you're not left out. The franchise is widely accessible, often broadcasting on platforms like Hayu in the UK and Slice in Canada, where it's been a staple since its 6th season.
Got immense global reach, and the sheer volume of seasons certainly explain the millions of viewers tuning in. But how has the show been received critically? It seems like reality TV always gets a mixed bag of reviews, often with a good dose of skepticism.
That's very astute, and Below Deck is no exception. Critics have offered quite a varied spectrum of opinions over the years, which is fascinating in itself. Early on, some, like David Hinckley from the New York Daily News, were less than impressed.
Real?
Yeah, perhaps struggling with the then novelty of the concept. He famously called it anchored in tedium and pretty mundane, finding the initial lack of clear plot lines, well, underwhelming.
Tedium, harsh.
Right. Emily R. of the Washington Post even questioned its fundamental truthfulness, suggesting it often felt so scripted, the stereotypical spoiled crew members, the neatly wrapped-up plot lines, that it's hard to take seriously.
Scripted. That's a common critique.
It is. And Neil Genslinger from the New York Times went further, not only criticizing the perceived lack of engaging narratives, but also the casting choices, finding the crew members not all that interesting and describing the guests as insufferable.
Ouch. Insufferable guests, I mean, sometimes.
Well, sometimes that's part of the appeal, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are some pretty stinging critiques suggesting a lack of authenticity or even just basic entertainment value.
But clearly those early assessments haven't deterred the viewers because the show is still wildly popular today. There must have been a more positive side that critics eventually acknowledged, or something that resonated despite the initial negativity, right?
Absolutely. The show's longevity and expanding franchise prove there's a powerful appeal that outweighs the critical barbs. Rob Owen of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette offered a more balanced, ultimately positive take, describing it as a fairly entertaining voyeuristic look at a made-for-reality TV crew.
Voyeuristic, yeah, that fits.
He hit on the inherent fascination of peeking into a world most people will never experience. And David Wigan from the San Francisco Chronicle pinpointed a crucial element that contributes to its enduring success. He observed how the show brilliantly takes the idea of disparate types thrown together in a controlled environment and capitalizes on 2 seemingly inevitable results: friction and sexual tension.
Ah, the friction and sexual tension, the core ingredients.
Exactly. That perfectly encapsulates the human drama at its core. Ultimately, despite the critiques of its perceived realism or initial narrative shortcomings, the millions of viewers and incredibly dedicated fan communities on platforms like Reddit.
Oh yeah, the subreddits are intense.
They really are. They eagerly follow the show and its many spin-offs, passionately dissecting every episode, every cast member's drama, and every luxurious detail. Their loyalty proves it's hitting a nerve, connecting with an audience that's invested in both the fantasy and the friction.
It seems like that undeniable fan loyalty proves it's hitting a powerful nerve, despite what some critics might say. But what about its broader impact on the actual professional yachting industry?
Nice.
I can imagine real yachties who dedicate their lives to this career might have some pretty strong and varied opinions about how their profession is being portrayed on a global stage.
That's a truly crucial point, and one that resonates deeply within the real yachting community. As early as 2014, Sandy Malone of the Huffington Post openly raised concerns, questioning whether the show was hurting the yachting industry
Hurting it. Wow.
and undermining its hard-earned reputation for stellar, discreet service. Her article highlighted a palpable fear that the show's emphasis on crew drama, inexperience, and interpersonal conflict might be irrevocably damaging the perception of professional yacht crew.
Who usually aim for, like, invisible service. Yeah.
Exactly. Impeccable, almost invisible service. She even expressed a desire for a big change in upcoming seasons, reflecting a hope that the show might pivot towards a more accurate and respectful portrayal of the demanding yet highly professional nature of their work.
Mm-hmm.
This really underscores the tension between entertainment value and the potential cost to an industry's image.
Okay, that's fascinating. So there's this perception battle brewing right from the start. Now let's pull back the curtain even further and talk about what really happens when those cameras start rolling. There's a concept in production known as the fourth wall. Can you explain what that is and why maintaining it is such a monumental challenge on a show like Below Deck?
Sure. The fourth wall is a fundamental concept in television and theater production. Imagine a room with 3 visible walls open to the audience. The fourth wall is that invisible, imaginary barrier between the performers and the audience.
Okay.
In reality TV, it's the unspoken rule that the on-screen talent, in this case the yacht crew, should not acknowledge or interact with the production staff. The camera operators, sound technicians, or PAs who are constantly in their immediate vicinity.
They have to pretend they're not there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The goal is to maintain the illusion that the audience is merely observing unadulterated reality, not that there's a film crew actively present shaping the environment.
But on a super yacht, in incredibly confined spaces, literally living and working alongside these production people for weeks on end, that must be incredibly difficult to maintain. It feels almost impossible to pretend they're not there, especially when you're forming natural human connections.
It is, by all accounts, an extraordinarily difficult feat. As one former crew member candidly put it, these camera people are real people, not faceless machines.
Right.
You're sharing meals, sharing close quarters, and in such an intense environment, it's natural to bond with them. And when you have repeat production crew members returning for multiple seasons across different franchises.
Well, so they see the same production people sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Connections become not just inevitable, but often quite strong. Yet these interactions, a glance, a shared laugh, a whispered comment, are absolutely forbidden to be captured on film, as they would shatter that illusion of unmediated reality.
Gotcha.
To compound this, the yachties are mic'd up 24/7.
20.
Meaning every single conversation, every sigh, every private thought mumble aloud is potentially recorded. And literally every single square foot of the yacht, from the engine room to the top deck, is under constant surveillance by cameras,
Wow.
with the sole blessed exception of the bathrooms.
Okay, well, at least there's that.
Right. So there's almost no true private space or moment when you're genuinely off camera.
That sounds like an utterly exhausting and psychologically intense environment. I can only imagine the technical demands of capturing all that action without interfering or becoming part of the scene. What kind of equipment are we talking about here, and what's the camera operator's role like, physically and professionally?
Oh, the technical side is a demanding ballet of discretion and physical endurance. The camera equipment itself is quite substantial. For instance, they utilize high-end cinematic cameras like the Sony FX9 6K.
6K, okay.
Yeah, which, depending on its configuration with lenses, monitors, and battery packs, can weigh a hefty 25 pounds.
95 pounds.
Yep. Now, imagine carrying that for 8-9 hours a day, sometimes even longer, constantly moving through the yacht's tight corridors, up and down steep companionways, in and out of hot galleys, all while trying to catch all the action. Every guest's reaction, every crew member's sigh, every spilled drink. Simultaneously, they have to perform a silent, constant choreography, staying out of the working crew's way, avoiding reflections, and remaining as invisible as possible.
You can't get in the way of service.
Exactly. Their primary directive is to ensure that the yacht crew's actual job-providing service is paramount,
Hmm.
and they must not interfere or obstruct it. It's a grueling physical demand that often goes completely unacknowledged by viewers, but it's absolutely crucial to how the reality is captured and edited.
That's an impressive feat of athleticism, technical skill, and discretion. It's almost like a silent, powerful dance they're performing in the background. What about the specific pressure inside particular areas, like the galley? That must already be a high-stakes pressure cooker, even without multiple cameras adding to the scrutiny.
You're absolutely right. The galley is a prime example of where the production presence amplifies existing stress.
Mm,
From a chef's perspective, it's an environment under relentless scrutiny.
I bet.
You have a combination of fixed cameras, smaller bag-mounted cameras on the chefs themselves, and roaming camera operators, all filming 24/7.
24/7 in the galley.
This means every single action, from the most elaborate plating to even a simple act like grabbing a lemon, becomes magnified and potentially part of the narrative.
Every little thing.
Chefs have openly described feeling watched all the time, leading to an increased sense of self-consciousness.
Mm.
They know that everything, just so you know, try me as personal, meaning every minor mistake, every moment of frustration, every slightly burned sauce is fair game.
Wow.
It undoubtedly ratchets up the existing stress of preparing high-end, bespoke meals for demanding guests, knowing it could become a key storyline.
This brings us to a really big question that always surfaces with reality TV. How much of what we see is genuinely authentic, raw life, and how much is manufactured or subtly nudged for entertainment value? Is Below Deck actually scripted?
That's perhaps the most common and persistent misconception about the show, and it's a question the production team addresses directly and consistently. Executive producer Courtland Cox has been very clear, stating, "I could not write the things that actually happen on this show."
Okay, so he says it's not scripted.
He vehemently asserts that the drama is not scripted, but rather it is an inherent, organic consequence of real people doing a real job, a highly demanding one while living and working in tiny spaces.
Right, the close quarters effect.
Exactly. This already volatile combination is then compounded by factors like intense sleep deprivation, the psychological toll of constant surgeries, and the crew's own choices, such as consuming alcohol during their off hours.
Yeah, the alcohol.
Yes, and it's important to clarify that while alcohol often fuels some of the interpersonal drama, it is entirely a choice made by the crew, not something forced or even explicitly encouraged by production.
So production isn't handing out drinks.
Not at all. It's their method of unwinding, and it simply happens to provide compelling television.
So if it's not scripted, what is the producer's role? Are they subtly manipulating situations, setting up specific conflicts, or telling people what to say or do to create storylines?
According to the production team, their role is actually far more observational and less interventionist than many might assume. Their job, as Cox describes it, is simply to just turn cameras on you and watch what's happening.
Just watch.
That's the claim. They operate under a core belief that actively getting involved, interfering with the crew's work, or attempting to script events would actually mess it up. They argue that the raw, unscripted nature of putting genuine personalities under immense pressure in an exotic and confined environment naturally generates drama that is far more creative, more amazing than anything anybody could actually conceive of.
So they believe reality is stranger than fiction, essentially.
Pretty much. They've discovered that simply bringing fascinating people together, letting them navigate their jobs and relationships, provides more than enough genuine craziness and compelling moments for captivating television. It's a testament to the unpredictable nature of human interaction.
That's a powerful argument for its authenticity. What about the guests, then? Are they actors, or are they genuinely paying for this luxurious experience, knowing full well they'll be on TV?
The guests are unequivocally real and crucially paying guests.
Okay, real paying guests.
Yep. They're not actors hired for a storyline. These are often eccentric individuals with genuinely outgoing personalities who are fully aware that their every move, every request, every interaction will be broadcast globally.
They know what they're signing up for.
Absolutely. They are, as you might expect, very wealthy individuals who charter these super yachts precisely because they expect nothing short of an incredible experience, a seamless, luxurious, and highly personalized vacation.
And the tips, we see those big tip meetings at the end. Are those real?
Oh yeah, the tips are also real cash, and they're often significantly higher than what might be standard in the industry.
Higher. Why is that?
Well, partly because guests don't want to be seen as being cheap on national television.
Ah, the TV effect.
Exactly.
Hmm.
For example, some charters have resulted in a staggering $23,000 tip for the crew.
23 grand for one charter.
And a crew member's total earnings and tips for an entire season could reach upwards of $160,500.
Wow.
Even the true salaries themselves are consistent with industry standard wages for yachting professionals, adding another layer of financial reality to the show.
This really grounds the show in a surprising level of reality, beyond just the personal dramas. But beyond the day-to-day dramas we often see, the stakes in real yachting can be incredibly high. It's not just about managing guest demands. There are profound responsibilities at sea.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about the real-world consequences when things go wrong, as they sometimes do on the show.
This is where the true gravity of the profession, even within the context of a reality show, becomes undeniable. One particularly critical incident that perfectly illustrates these severe consequences occurred on below-deck sailing yachts.
Sailing yacht, okay?
Captain Glenn Shepard, a highly respected and experienced captain, found himself in the agonizing position of having to fire a crew member after the yacht dragged anchor and subsequently ran aground on a sandbank.
Oh, running aground, that's serious.
Extremely serious.
Oh.
Captain Glenn described this as one of the most traumatizing things he'd experienced on a boat, emphasizing with absolute clarity that it was real and should have been avoided through proper vigilance and skill. For a captain, ensuring the safety of the vessel, the guests, and the entire crew is paramount. He needs absolute, unwavering confidence in his crew's ability to perform their duties flawlessly because, as he put it, people's lives are in their hands.
Wow, lives in their hands.
That moment was a stark, unscripted reminder that yachting, especially helming a multi-million-dollar vessel, carries immense, real-world responsibility.
That's a truly stark reminder of the gravity of the work and the professional demands placed on these crew members. It's not just a TV show for them, it's a career with genuine risks. And there was an even more terrifying incident, a near-death experience, that perfectly encapsulated the raw, unscripted dangers of this job.
Yes, there was a truly harrowing moment the viewers will never forget, and it underscores the critical dangers of the job even with a camera crew present. During Below Deck Season 6,
Okay, the original series.
yeah, deckhand Ashton Pinar suffered a terrifying accident where he's dragged into the water by a tow line.
Oh, I remember that. The man overboard situation.
Exactly. This wasn't a staged moment. It was a genuine life-threatening situation. Ashton was pulled overboard, and the tow line wrapped around his ankle, nearly severing his foot as the boat continued to move.
God, that sounds horrific.
It was. In a split second, a quick-thinking cameraman, Brent Freeberg, who was capturing the scene, recognized the imminent danger and, without hesitation, dropped his camera and freed the line from the boat's cleat, preventing it from tightening further.
The cameraman saved him.
He did. Saved Ashton from a potentially catastrophic injury or even drowning. This was a completely unscripted, terrifying, and profoundly real event that powerfully illustrates the serious, inherent dangers of working on a superyacht.
Absolutely.
And also highlights the human element, both the crew's vulnerability and the production team's immediate response in a genuine crisis. It was a stark, visceral reminder that despite the glamour, this is a workplace with serious risks.
Okay, so we've had a truly deep peek behind the production curtain, understanding the demands on both the on-screen talent and the unseen crew. But now let's get into the heart of what many of our listeners probably wonder most. How does what we see on Below Deck actually compare to real yachting life, as experienced by seasoned professionals? Is it fact, or is it mostly entertaining fiction?
This is perhaps the most frequently debated topic among professional yachties, and it's where the lines between reality TV and actual reality blur significantly.
Yeah, I bet.
Many actual yacht crew members, surprisingly, find the show hilarious and genuinely entertaining.
Really? Hilarious.
Yeah, they'll often watch it for fun and a laugh, viewing it much like any other dramatic TV series. They're quick to acknowledge it as reality TV where it's about the drama, understanding that its primary purpose is entertainment, not a documentary portrayal of their daily lives.
That makes a lot of sense. So they can enjoy it for what it is, a source of entertainment, but I imagine their main critique isn't about the show being entertaining, but about its accuracy regarding their highly specialized and demanding profession.
Precisely.
They probably feel it misrepresents the reality of their hard work.
You nailed it. While they might enjoy the show as a guilty pleasure, the prevailing sentiment among professional yachties is a strong belief that the show is not realistic to the industry.
Not realistic, okay?
In fact, Many feel it actively degrades the nature of their industry, and unfortunately, makes the entire profession look bad.
Makes it look bad. How so?
It's largely perceived as a highly exaggerated, often sensationalized version of their daily lives, focusing on the most dramatic and least professional elements. This distinction between entertainment and accuracy is a sore point for many who pride themselves on their professionalism.
That's a powerful indictment. Let's delve into some of those key differences and exaggerations then, to understand why professional yachties feel this way. First off, the drama level. Below Deck is practically built on a foundation of interpersonal conflict, romantic entanglements, and workplace clashes.
Yeah, it is. And while it's true that any group of people living and working in such close quarters will experience some level of drama and team dynamics.
Sure, that's human nature.
Right. But it is nowhere near as intense as what you see on the show. In real professional yachting, the environment is already incredibly stressful due to demanding guests, long hours, and the high standards expected.
Right.
Real yachties prioritize professionalism to an extreme degree. They simply cannot afford to let personal problems or relationship drama add to that pressure. There's often a distinct lack of time for personal talk while working. The focus is entirely on the guests and the vessel.
So less gossiping by the coffee machine.
Pretty much none, especially during service. The constant, explicit airing of personal grievances, romantic pursuits, and crew feuds that we see on Below Deck would be considered highly unprofessional and detrimental to service in a true yachting environment.
It sounds like production actually plays a significant role in allowing some of that personal talk and drama to unfold in a way that simply wouldn't be tolerated in a real working environment.
That's a crucial distinction. Production for sure allows them to chat about personal things while working.
Ah, okay.
This is a stark contrast to real-world yachting, where
Yeah.
such conversations are not something that is accepted in a real work environment. For example, one seasoned stew recounted an anecdote of a junior stew getting ripped a new one, meaning severely reprimanded by her chief stew, simply for showing something on her phone during service.
Whoa, just for looking at her phone.
During service, yes. That level of casual interaction, personal discussion, or distraction during work hours is simply not tolerated on a professional superyacht, where the focus must remain entirely on the guests and the tasks at hand. The show's format, by necessity, creates space for these interactions to drive its narrative.
And what about the partying? We frequently see the crew blowing off steam, sometimes quite spectacularly, often in guest areas like the jacuzzi or on deck. Is that behavior typical or even loud on a legitimate superyacht?
On real superyachts, the answer is a resounding absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Never.
Pretty much never in guest areas. Professional yachties are absolutely not allowed to party in the jacuzzi after a night out or ever, especially not in guest areas. The consequence for such behavior would typically be immediate dismissal.
Getting fired for using the jacuzzi.
If you're partying in it when guests aren't there, yeah, absolutely. While crew on smaller, less formal boats might have more relaxed rules, discretion, and, more importantly, guest privacy are paramount on superyachts.
Right. Privacy is key.
Guests often charter these vessels precisely for the utmost privacy, preferring to spend time at anchor in secluded bays rather than docking in busy marinas, which makes any kind of visible crew antics in their areas impossible and entirely inappropriate.
Makes sense.
The idea of a crew member being seen by guests, or worse, heard, while in a jacuzzi after hours is a complete non-starter in the luxury yachting world.
That's a huge operational and ethical difference. What about the workload and crew size? On Below Deck, it often seems like a relatively small team is juggling an enormous amount of responsibility across the entire yacht. How does that compare to reality?
It's another significant area disparity. Below Deck typically features a maximum of 8 guests and 4 cabins for the interior crew to manage and clean.
Okay, 8 guests, 4 cabins.
In reality, a superyacht of the size often featured on the show might have 7 cabins and a maximum of 12 guests. And it's quite rare for them to have fewer than 9 guests on board.
So more guests, more cabins.
Exactly. To manage this heavier workload, real yachts employ a significantly larger interior crew. For instance, 6 stews versus the show's 3.
6 stews instead of 3, that's double.
Right. This means the workload distribution in professional yachting is often more evenly distributed than portrayed on the show, with more hands available to manage the demanding service, cleaning, and guest requests.
So the show's crew is kind of understaffed for dramatic effect.
It certainly makes each individual appear more overwhelmed, which definitely makes for good TV, but isn't truly representative of a well-staffed, efficient operation.
And the duration of the job itself. On the show, we see these intense, high-stakes charter seasons that often last a few weeks of filming. Is that truly how real yachting works, as a short, intense sprint?
Not at all. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. Unlike the show's condensed 6-week filming period, real yachting is fundamentally a full-time job with a permanent contract.
A permanent contract, like a regular job.
Exactly.
Huh.
This career path actually offers substantial benefits, akin to many onshore professional roles. For instance, crew members can receive 45 days of holiday a year,
45 days holiday, nice.
or work-appealing rotations like 2 months on, 2 months off, all paid full-time.
Wow, 2 months on, 2 months off, paid.
Furthermore, there can be months at a time when the yacht is not actively hosting guests. During these periods, the crew focuses on essential maintenance in the shipyard, refits, or repositioning the vessel, working a much more regular 8 to 5 schedule.
So it's not always frantic charter season.
Definitely not. It's a stable, structured, and long-term profession, far removed from the short, intense burst of the TV show's charter season. It's a true career, not just a seasonal gig.
This raises an incredibly important question for anyone considering a career in yachting. Does being on below deck actually help or hinder a yachtie's career in the long run? Is it a massive career boost due to exposure, or is it seen as a career killer in the professional world?
For serious, long-term yachting professionals, there's a very strong belief that being on below deck can absolutely be a career killer.
A career killer. That's strong.
It is. This isn't just anecdotal. It's a pervasive sentiment within the industry. Yachties who appear on the show are widely perceived as not taken as seriously and often have trouble getting hired by serious crews.
Why is that? Because of the drama.
Partly. The core reason lies in the fundamental values of high-end yachting: discretion, absolute professionalism, and unwavering privacy for ultra-wealthy clients.
Right, the discretion factor again.
Exactly. Public exposure, especially the public airing of private moments, workplace complaints, and guest interactions, can instantly signal a breach of that implicit trust. Recruiters and owners often won't hire them because of it, fearing that their public profile, perceived lack of discretion, and obligations to the show might affect their availability, loyalty, or ability to maintain the strict privacy required on a luxury vessel.
Yeah, I can see that. An owner wouldn't want their private life potentially exposed.
Precisely. Imagine an owner whose privacy is paramount. They wouldn't want a crew member who might later write a tell-all or inadvertently disclose details of their life.
That's a pretty harsh reality to face after gaining a public profile and perhaps a significant fan base. It sounds like a real catch-22. But you mentioned something interesting about changing views, specifically post-COVID. Has the industry's stance softened at all?
Yes. There's a definite nuance and a subtle shift in perspective, especially in certain segments of the industry. Post-COVID, it's became a lot more accepting, particularly for what might be termed normal chartered yachts,
Okay, normal charters.
or those operating slightly below the ultra-high net worth tier.
Yeah.
In these circles, there's a growing recognition that it's just a TV show, and that the on-screen persona doesn't necessarily reflect a person's actual professional capabilities.
So some parts of the industry are more relaxed about it now.
A bit, yeah. However, this acceptance hasn't universally extended. For higher, more professional type of yachts or private yachts, especially those catering to the most discreet and wealthy individuals, the traditional values still hold firm.
Still a no-go for the top tier.
Largely, yes. These elite vessels still don't really accept it, meaning true members with below-deck experience will likely face significant hurdles if they aspire to work in that top echelon of the industry. So it really depends on the caliber of yachting one aspires to.
And finally, the infamous drinking culture. We see a lot of it on the show, often after hours, but sometimes spilling into the workday or creating hangovers that impact performance. How does that aspect, so frequently highlighted, impact their professional reputation in the real world?
The pervasive drinking culture portrayed on the show is a significant concern for many in the real yachting industry. The consensus is that all the drinking they crew do cannot be great for getting other jobs after the show.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Especially when considering the immense responsibilities involved in managing a multi-million-dollar vessel and ensuring guest safety. While unwinding and socializing after a long charter is common and understood within the industry,
Sure, they need to blow off steam.
of course. But the extent, frequency, and public nature of the drinking on below deck can be a major red flag for future employers. Owners and captains are looking for highly responsible, reliable, and discreet individuals with impeccable judgment.
Mm.
A public record of excessive drinking, even if off-duty, raises questions about professionalism, reliability, and potential liability. It creates a perception issue that can follow them, making it harder to secure roles on yachts where discretion and sober judgment are non-negotiable requirements.
Okay, so while the show might portray a somewhat exaggerated version of yachting life, with amplified drama and a more relaxed attitude towards professionalism, it clearly offers a powerful platform.
It does.
It's a platform that many cast members have leveraged for incredible success, often charting entirely new career courses. Here's where it gets really compelling. What actually happens to these below-deck alumni after they leave the high seas and the constant gaze of the cameras behind?
What's truly fascinating here is the sheer number of individuals who demonstrate remarkable resilience, adaptability, and entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
They've taken their on-screen exposure, the unique skills honed in yachting, and their newly acquired public platforms, transforming them into entirely new ventures. It's inspiring to witness them leverage their experience to chart diverse and often highly successful professional and personal paths.
So they make it work for them.
They really do. They prove that even from reality TV, valuable transferable skills emerge.
Let's dive into some specific examples, starting with Francesca Ruby, the chief stew from Below Deck Season 8. She was known for her exceptional professionalism and her ability to work incredibly well under immense pressure. What has she been able to build on that foundation?
Francesca's post-show journey perfectly illustrates this adaptability. She took the relentless discipline, the demanding work ethic, and the client-facing skills honed in the high-stakes yachting world and applied them to a completely different passion.
Which is?
She became a highly successful Pilates instructor, eventually starting her own studio.
Pilates. Interesting pivot.
Isn't it? Her success isn't just a career change. It showcases how the intense focus and determination demanded by yachting can be a powerful springboard into entrepreneurial ventures, even in vastly different industries that still value direct client interaction and a high standard of service.
That's a fantastic pivot, channeling that energy into something new. Next up, one of the most long-standing and recognizable chief stews from Below Deck Mediterranean, Hannah Ferrier. She was a constant presence, known for her strong leadership, until her dramatic exit in Season 5. What's she up to now?
Hannah has skillfully channeled her extensive and often challenging experience as a chief stew into a multifaceted career. She now actively counsels future yachties.
Oh, training new yachties.
Yeah, sharing her invaluable insights and lessons learned through the Ocean International Training Academy. Beyond that, she hosts a hugely successful podcast, leveraging her public profile and engaging personality to connect with a wider audience.
She has a podcast, too.
And on a personal note, she's a dedicated mother to her daughter, Ava, showcasing a well-rounded transition into both professional and family life. Her story exemplifies how on-screen experience can be packaged into valuable mentorship and content creation.
And arguably one of the original draw cards for the entire Below Deck franchise, Kate Chastain, chief stew from Seasons 2 through 7.
Kate Ledger.
She was renowned for her no-nonsense attitude, quick wit, and her unique, often hilarious rapport with Captain Lee. After so many seasons, what's she been able to build on that incredibly public platform?
Kate has been incredibly shrewd and successful at diversifying her reality TV portfolio and brand. Her sharp wit and captivating personality proved to have longevity far beyond the My Shauna.
So she's still on TV.
Yeah, she's gone on to appear in other successful reality spin-offs, including Galley Talk and Couch Talk, where she offers her signature commentary, and even recently competed on The Traders, showcasing her strategic mind.
Oh, yeah, The Traders.
And on a personal level, she welcomed a son in mid-2023, adding a new dimension to her life. Kate's journey demonstrates how a strong personality and quick thinking can translate into a sustained career in entertainment and media.
From Below Deck Adventure, Chief Stew Faye Clark was known for her infectious energy and ability to handle pressure in a new, colder climate. What new adventures has she embarked on since leaving the show?
Faye has skillfully parlayed her on-screen charisma into the entertainment industry, transitioning into a role as a presenter and event host, where her vibrant personality truly shines.
Presenter and host. Nice.
She's also effectively become an influencer, leveraging her social media presence to connect with fans, and she even runs a local bagel catering business, tapping into an entrepreneurial spirit. Like Kate, she also welcomed a daughter in 2023, showcasing a balance between new career paths and personal milestones. It's another example of how the exposure can open doors to diverse opportunities.
Colin McRae from Below Deck Sailing Yacht made a distinct choice to leave the show at one point to focus intently on building his skills and experience as a legitimate captain. Has that dedication paid off for him?
Absolutely. Colin's journey is particularly inspiring for those who doubted the professional aspirations of reality TV yachties.
Yeah, proving them wrong.
Totally.
Yeah.
He committed himself to becoming a highly skilled and respected captain, achieving that goal by sailing his own boat across vast distances. He's also brilliantly documented his life at sea on his incredibly popular YouTube channel.
Oh, he has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, where he educates a dedicated following about real-world sailing, yacht maintenance, and navigation. Colin has not only achieved his dream within the industry, but has also become an educator and content creator, demonstrating that it's possible to find success within the yachting world, but on one's own terms and with a focus on genuine skill and expertise.
That's really cool. And Kyle Viljoen, a vibrant stew from Below Deck Mediterranean, seasons 7 and 8, was known for his exciting and often dramatic personality. What new platforms has he conquered since his time on the show?
Kyle has certainly leveraged his exciting personality into new arenas. He's become a prominent social media influencer, connecting with his fan base through engaging content.
Influencer makes sense.
Beyond that, he's found a unique niche in the entertainment world, hosting his own radio show in New York City as DJ Kyle Riley, aptly named The Bold Sessions.
A radio show in NYC? Wow.
Yeah, this showcases how a strong, memorable personality can be a valuable asset for creating a personal brand and venturing into media roles that perfectly suit their charisma.
Haley DeSolapinto, the third stew from Below Deck season 10, brought an infectious personality and left a strong impression on her chief stew. What's her post-show entrepreneurial venture?
Haley is another excellent example of leveraging yachting skills into entrepreneurship. She transitioned her experiences in high-end service and client care into becoming a successful business owner.
What kind of business?
She built her own medical spa, Class and Aesthetics,
A med spa.
where she continues to serve high-end clients, but now in a completely different, yet still luxury-oriented industry. Her path highlights how the service mindset and dedication to client satisfaction learned on a yacht are incredibly transferable to other premium service businesses.
Interesting. And finally, Donnie Soares from Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 2, who had a controversial but undeniably hardworking season, including an infamous boatmance. What's her life like now, post-show?
Donnie's journey highlights a different kind of resilience. After her season, she faced a very challenging pregnancy and a highly publicized paternity suit, which ultimately confirmed Jean-Luc Cherzolino as the father of her daughter.
Right, that was a whole thing.
It was. Despite these personal challenges, Danny has since made a significant career shift, becoming a dedicated nurse.
A nurse. Wow.
Yeah, a profession that demands immense empathy and strength. She's now focused on her career and, most importantly, on parenting her daughter. Her story, while complex, demonstrates incredible fortitude and a commitment to building a stable, nurturing life beyond the transient world of reality TV.
If we connect all these dots, it's clear these individuals, despite the unique challenges and scrutiny of reality TV, demonstrate incredible resilience and adaptability. They use their public platforms and transferable skills to forge entirely new, often entrepreneurial paths.
What's truly fascinating here is the consistent pattern that emerges. The exposure, even with its inherent downsides and the potential for a career killer label in traditional yachting, provides them with a unique springboard.
Yeah.
They take the intense work ethic, the client-facing problem-solving skills, the ability to thrive under pressure, and the public recognition, and they strategically apply it to the next chapter. This proves that even a reality TV star can be a shrewd businesswoman, a dedicated professional, a mentor, or a content creator. It's about how you harness that very specific kind of fame and those high-pressure experiences.
Now, let's talk about some of the real stars of the show that are often overlooked in the flurry of human drama. The yachts themselves and the breathtaking locations they visit.
Ah, yes, the boats.
They're not just passive backdrops, are they? They're almost characters in their own right, defining the atmosphere and contributing to the drama.
They absolutely are pivotal to the show's allure.
Yeah.
The yachts featured on Below Deck are far more than just transportation. They are magnificent, luxurious vessels, each with its own distinct personality and design. Ranging from powerful motor yachts to elegant sailing yachts, they become a vital role in the drama and excitement, not just because they're beautiful, but because they are confined spaces that amplify everything, from the challenges of service to the intensity of interpersonal relationships.
Hmm.
The gleaming hulls, the opulent interiors, the meticulously maintained decks, they're a character in themselves, a constant reminder of the world of privilege the crew serves.
And can you highlight some of the most notable vessels we've seen throughout the franchise? There have been quite a few iconic ones that viewers have come to recognize as the settings for unforgettable moments.
Indeed, many of these yachts have become almost as famous as the crew members. In the inaugural Season 1, we were introduced to the Honor, a stately 164-foot luxury yacht.
Honor, okay.
Season 2 featured the Ohana at a grand 162 feet. Then came the Elegant Arrows in Season 3, measuring 161 feet. The Valor became particularly iconic.
Valor, yeah, definitely remember Valor.
Right. Gracing 3 Seasons 4, 5, and 7, appearing at 154 feet and a larger 177 feet in Season 7. Became synonymous with some of the franchise's wildest parties and dramatic guest requests.
For sure.
The Maishana followed, a truly stunning vessel that appeared in Seasons 6 and 8 at 185 feet and 180 feet respectively.
Shauna was gorgeous.
More recently, we've seen the Lady Michelle in Season 9 at 180 feet, the Sleek Elysium in Season 10, also at 180 feet, and the magnificent St. David.
St. David, the current one.
Exactly. Which has been a consistent presence across Seasons 10, 11, and 12, also at 180 feet. Of course, for below-deck sailing yacht, the Silligan Parsifal III is an indelible icon, instantly recognizable.
Oh, yeah.
And other notable vessels from below-deck Mediterranean include the Ionian Princess, the Sirocco, the Talisman Maiden, and the Colossal the Wellington, each bringing its own character to the screen. These are true marvels of engineering, design, and luxury.
And it's not just the boats, but the destinations themselves that are so captivating. The stunning locations are just as crucial to the show's appeal as the crew and the drama, providing the perfect backdrop for all the high-stakes action and breathtaking vistas.
Absolutely. The show truly takes us on a global tour of unparalleled glamour and adventure. We've been whisked away from the Caribbean breezes of St. Martin, the British Virgin Islands, Antigua, St. Kitts, Anguilla, and St. Barths.
All these beautiful islands.
Locales known for their crystalline waters and vibrant cultures. The yachts have also navigated the serene beauty of the Bahamas and the historic charm of the U.S. Virgin Islands. The franchise has ventured further afield to the breathtaking Pacific vistas of Tahiti and French Polynesia and the exotic shores of Phuket, Thailand, offering completely different cultural and aquatic experiences.
Tahiti and Thailand, wow.
For below-deck sailing yacht and below-deck Mediterranean, the dramatic coastlines and ancient histories of Greece have provided a spectacular stage. And for those seeking a more rugged, colder climate adventure, below-deck adventure, plunged us into the majestic, awe-inspiring fjords of Norway.
Norway looked incredible.
Didn't it? Even Australia's unique marine life was showcased in Below Deck Down Under, with its third season now confirmed for the utterly stunning Seychelles.
Seychelles, okay.
Each destination not only offers visual splendor, but often presents its own unique logistical challenges for the crew, from navigating busy port towns to catering to specific local tastes.
These aren't just scenic backdrops, they really emphasize the ultra-luxurious world these guests inhabit, which brings me to the intriguing and perhaps mind-boggling question of cost. How much does it actually cost to charter one of these below-deck yachts? This really puts the immense wealth of the guests into a clearer perspective.
It truly does, and it's a detail that often surprises viewers. Chartering one of these magnificent luxury yachts like those showcased on Below Deck is an exclusive experience, typically ranging from a staggering $140,000 to $220,000 per week.
Per week?
Per week. And it's crucial to understand that this base figure doesn't even include additional substantial costs, like the gratuity for the hardworking crew.
Right, the tip.
The customized cost of gourmet food and beverages, the fuel consumed by the yacht and its tenders, or any docking fees incurred in exclusive marinas.
So the extras add up fast.
Oh, yeah. For some of the truly colossal super yachts featured on the show, the price can climb upwards of $300,000 per week before a single extra is added.
$300,000 a week.
This highlights the immense wealth of the guests portrayed. They're not just well off, they're in an entirely different financial stratosphere, and their expectations for an incredible, seamless experience are absolutely commensurate with that investment.
So, now that we've delved into the history, the behind-the-scenes realities, and the sheer economics of it all, let's bring it right up to the present. What's happening with the current season of Below Deck? I understand Season 12 recently premiered, and fans are already heavily invested in the unfolding drama.
Indeed. Below Deck, Season 12 recently premiered on June 2, 2025, taking loyal viewers back to familiar and exquisitely beautiful waters. This season was filmed across the stunning Caribbean destinations of Anguilla, St. Barth's, and St. Martin.
Back in the Caribbean.
Yep. And notably, it's aboard the magnificent St. David, a vessel that's already become a familiar icon to fans from its previous appearances.
St. David again?
The choice of these particular islands always guarantees a vibrant mix of high-end clientele and picturesque scenery, setting the stage for what's sure to be another eventful charter season.
And what are some of the ongoing themes or fresh challenges that are unfolding with this latest installment? Are we seeing familiar patterns emerging, or are there new dynamics that are really captivating fans?
This season, the St. David is once again a hub of familiar yet intensified drama, truly hitting on all the classic below-deck themes. We're seeing a quintessential struggle in the galley with the new chef Lawrence.
Ah, chef drama, always.
Pretty much. His culinary missteps seem to amplify the already sky-high pressure of the kitchen, especially under the constant scrutiny of cameras. This often sets a tense tone for the entire charter. On deck, a green stew, someone brand new to the demanding world of superyachts, is visibly finding her sea legs,
The green stew.
presenting a relatable challenge for many viewers as they watch her navigate the steep learning curve. The friction from a high-strung bosun, that's the chief of the deck crew, responsible for external operations and leading the deckhands, is another classic element,
High-strung bosun check.
highlighting the persistent leadership and team dynamics that often make or break a charter.
But what about the guests? Any standouts?
Oh yeah. What's truly setting this season apart are the guests themselves. We've had a primary charter guest with extreme germophobia,
Thermophobia. Oh, wow.
which adds an incredibly unique and challenging layer to the service demands, pushing the crew to meticulous extremes. And the appearance of adult film stars chartering the yacht has certainly sparked a considerable online debate,
Okay.
pushing the boundaries of the typical guest expectations and creating unexpected dynamics. Beyond that, the interplay of burgeoning and bitter crew relationships.
The boatmances and feuds.
Exactly, like the evolving, sometimes tumultuous dynamic between Kyle and Celine, or the tensions between Rainbow and Celine, and the lingering bitterness from Chef Anthony after a previous charter continue to be central engines of the show's narrative. These personal stories inevitably spill into the professional realm, creating chaos and challenging the crew's ability to maintain high standards.
It sounds like the show is still delivering on the drama front, with plenty of new twists on familiar themes. How are fans reacting to this season on social media and in online communities? Are they loving the chaos, or is there a sense of critique?
Fan discussions on social media, particularly on platforms like Reddit, are incredibly active and passionate this season. There's a lot of debate about whether the season has escalated into toxic vibes and chaos,
Toxic vibes.
with many viewers keenly observing the increased interpersonal friction. There's also an ongoing fascinating conversation about whether the show still feels about the job, the actual professional demands of yachting, or if the job is just the backdrop for whatever personal storyline is playing out that week.
Job versus drama balance.
Exactly. Many loyal viewers are questioning if the balance has tipped too far towards personal drama, potentially overshadowing the impressive professional skills of the crew when they were performing well.
Interesting.
It's clear that while viewers are still tuning in, they're doing so with a critical eye, keenly observing the interplay between professional demands and the increasingly intense personal dramas, sparking a lot of discussion about the show's future direction and what defines its reality.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close, it's abundantly clear that Below Deck is far more than just a simple reality show. It's this incredibly intricate dance, isn't it?
It really is.
A fascinating blend of genuine professional demands, sometimes intensely challenging and dangerous real-world incidents, all wrapped up with a layer of drama that, while unscripted, is undeniably amplified by the very nature of its production for our entertainment.
It truly is a remarkable convergence. We've explored the immense dedication of both the on-screen crew who navigate the high-stakes world of luxury hospitality and the meticulous, often invisible efforts of the behind-the-scenes production team who capture every moment.
Yeah.
It stands as a compelling testament to human dynamics under pressure, whether those pressures stem from demanding guests, confined living and working conditions, the relentless demands of the sea, or the ever-present scrutinizing lens of a camera.
This raises a truly thought-provoking question for you, our listener, to carry forward. Given this intricate dance between authentic reality and the often unseen influence of production, and Considering the surprising, sometimes wildly divergent career trajectories of former cast members who've leveraged their exposure in unexpected ways, what does reality TV truly mean for those who live it, and for us, the audience, who consume it?
Yeah, that's a big question. Does the pursuit of entertainment inherently outweigh a completely real portrayal of an industry? Or does it simply open up new, albeit dramatized, avenues for understanding human dynamics under extraordinary circumstances?
Right.
It also prompts us to consider how our own careers and personal lives might be impacted if every single moment were captured by cameras, edited, and broadcast to millions.
Can you imagine?
And perhaps it makes us reflect on what unexpected skills or unique platforms we might possess or acquire that could be leveraged for a completely unforeseen career pivot, just like so many of the Below Deck alumni we discussed today.
Food for thought indeed. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We hope you'll never look at a super yacht, a challenging guest, or a reality show quite the same way again.